Hey guys, so you actually want to buy a laptop and you do not know where to start from, whether the cheap models will be better or the expensive ones will be better. So here is a laptop buying guide and we will be discussing 2 points in here. How much power do you really need in your laptop and at what price point that should come. So roll in the intro. Okay, so let us first discuss about what are the important components that you should have in your laptop. First thing, you should have a dedicated GPU. That means you cannot actually work with the integrated graphics that comes with the processors like the Vega 8 or something like the Intel HD graphics. They are not going to give you any form of proper gaming experience. So you should actually have a dedicated GPU in your laptop. And the next thing, let us talk about what should be the screen resolution of your laptop. There are a lot of screen resolutions out there, but we should definitely get a 1920 by 1080 pixels. If you want another form of this, that is a FHD display. Do not go for anything less than that. The reason I'm saying this is that many programs, many softwares have actually ceased the support for 720p displays. So if you actually buy one, you will get stuck if you want to work with those softwares. And a typical budget laptop has a resolution of 1366 by 768, and you should avoid that. That is not definitely a resolution in which you can have a decent gaming, plus you can actually run most of the softwares that are going to come in the future and that exist. Next thing, let us talk about what should be the storage in your laptop. And if you actually have been researching your laptops, you actually have found out a very interesting thing is that there are certain laptops which gives you 1 terabyte of hard disk, and there are certain laptops which give you 512 gigabytes of SSD. I would recommend you go with the second thing, because HDDs are actually becoming quite outdated, and they will actually spoil the entire gaming experience that you can have with your hardware. Of course, the HDDs can run the games, but if you actually talk about the overall experience, it is going to be a very bad experience. There are many laptops which are actually pushing out an HDD as well as SSD, but I should actually recommend you get a laptop which has only SSD and nothing more. That comes with a premium, but you can have a good gaming experience for a long period of time. So the next thing, let us talk about what is a laptop and why you should actually learn to differentiate between a laptop and a desktop. A laptop is named laptop. It is meant to be kept on your lap. If you're actually keeping a laptop on your desk, then what is actually the meaning of buying a laptop? Let me just tell you, laptops of certain specifications come at a premium over a desktop of the same specification. Just because of one thing, the reason for the birth of a laptop, that is the portability that a laptop can give. So if actually going and putting it on a desk, then what is actually the need of buying a laptop? So you should have this very point in your mind and choose your laptop in such a way that you do not need anything other from that setup that the laptop can give, except a mouse. You'll need it for gaming, right? Okay, so let us just move on to discuss more about GPU. What GPU should you actually get? As I mentioned earlier, you should not get those integrated GPUs like Vega 8 and Vega 11 or the Intel HD graphics. It is because they cannot actually give a complete gaming experience. The reason why I say this is that these integrated GPUs do not actually have any VRAM which they come with. They suck the memory that the computer memory, the CPU memory can give, and that means they suck your RAM. And what is actually the function of a GPU? What is GPU meant for? It is actually meant for rendering a huge number of objects very fast. So if they actually are sucking out GDDR4 RAM or GDDR3 RAM, whatever your laptop comes with, they are significantly slower than VRAM. So how they can actually give the performance of a GPU? They're definitely not going to give. Those are meant to be display adapters, not a graphics card for gaming. They are meant to provide a display, not render millions of objects for gaming. You have to understand this thing and not rely on gaming on an integrated graphics card. It is going to harm your laptop too, as well as your experience. so next we'll move on to discuss more about displays. If you actually go for buying a laptop, you will actually get to see two kinds of laptops, one that has a gloss display on them and one that has a matte display on them. I will definitely recommend going for the matte display and not the gloss ones, but laptops are not customizable to that point. There is at a certain point you are getting a gloss screen, but the specs that the laptop are giving are too good to me, so go for the gloss screen at that time. There is no option for you. But if you actually go for premium laptops, which actually come at quite a higher price, like maybe $1,000 or even more than that, you actually have a lot of customizable options. In that case, you should go for matte screens and avoid gloss screens. Alright, so the next point is that what speakers you should have. I will not recommend that you should actually pay too much attention to the speakers you get with your laptop, because the real gaming is actually in headphones and not in speakers. No matter you have a 5.1 surround sound or 7.1 surround sound, headphones is actually can provide the best of the best gaming sound at anything, and a laptop cannot even handle a 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound system. It does not have that much power. So you save a little more bucks for getting a decent headphone for gaming. Do not actually rely on the speakers the laptop will provide, because a laptop is so small they cannot actually install powerful speakers in them. Get this. Alright, so let's now move on to another important thing, and that is the CPU and the RAM that your laptop must have. I would recommend you should not go for anything less than the Ryzen 5 or the i5 level of processors, and that too for Intel 9th generation, and for Ryzen you should go for at least the 3rd generation. More is better, but these are the minimum things, and you should actually consider getting an 8-core processor like I said in my previous video. If you don't know why, then you can click here, but 8-core processor is recommended, and at least if that's out of your budget, then go for at least a 6-core processor, nothing less than that. And for RAM, for starters, for 2020, not ahead, I will recommend 8 gigs of RAM with one slot empty, because sooner or later you will have to upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM. If you can get it all at once, then it's very good, but if you cannot, then go for 8 gigs of RAM with one slot empty for now, and you will have to upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM within a year or two, because within a year or two 16 gigs of RAM will have the crown to itself and 8 gig will get kicked out. Okay, so let me just talk about another important thing that many people have a misconception is external graphics card. Well, this is a very interesting topic. Many people actually will suggest you to get an external graphics card and to not actually pay the attention of the graphics card that is in your current laptop. But let me tell you, only powerful laptops or premium laptops can actually reap the power of an external GPU. And for budget laptops that come with a very weak GPU cannot actually cannot actually reap any good amount of processing power from an external GPU. It is just a waste of money and nothing else. So do not actually think that you can actually buy a less powerful graphics card and then you can actually use eGPU. And I was talking about a powerful laptop reaping out some good power out of an eGPU, but if you get a powerful GPU, powerful laptop, they will already have a decent graphics card on board. So it does not make sense. eGPU does not make sense. So that was the end of all the points that you should actually keep in mind while buying a laptop. And let me just discuss about the price. If you're actually going for a decent laptop with a laptop which actually has quite enough processing power to help you play 2020 games, 2021 games, or even ahead. With ray tracing, if you need it, then it will actually be at around $1,500, and if you actually want base level gaming, then something around $800 to $900 is good to go. If someone is actually expecting you to pay more, then be aware, do not pay more for worse hardware. And that's all for it. Go buy your laptop and have your portable gaming experience. That is great, but at cost of some good brains. Just keep these points in mind and you will actually not have any problems in buying a laptop. And with that said, I'm Arkeo, this is Cyber Tech Talk, and I'll see you next one. Bye.